For now, some opinions on Trump reversing course on the releasing of the Epstein files. So we'll get right into it. This from the BIN. President Donald Trump has abruptly reversed course in his efforts to block the release of the Jeffrey Epstein files. On Sunday, November 16th, Trump told the House GOP to support the release of federal records on Epstein just ahead of Tuesday's disclosure vote, in which many Republicans are preparing to break ranks, per Politico. Quote, House Republicans should vote to release the Epstein files because we have nothing to hide and it's time to move on from this Democrat hoax, unquote. Trump wrote on Truth Social, adding, quote, I don't care. This is in caps, by the way. All I do care about is that Republicans get back on point, unquote, on economic issues. As many as 100 House Republicans were already expected to join Democrats on Tuesday in a vote to force the release of the Epstein records. Trump and Speaker Mike Johnson had attempted to avoid the vote for months. Last week, Trump took aim at Representative Thomas Macy. I believe that's how I say his name. I've heard it before, but it escapes me now. The Republican from Kentucky who is leading the disclosure push, and condemned his former ally, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, the Republican from Georgia, for siding with him. Quote, I'm a big full disclosure person, unquote, Representative Virginia Foxx, the Republican from North Carolina, chair of the Rules Committee, said in a statement. The statement goes on to say, quote, I have nothing to hide and I assume nobody else does either, unquote. The disclosure push came as House Oversight Democrats released several emails in which Epstein claimed that Trump, quote, knew about the girls, unquote. Trump has long maintained his innocence and claimed he had a falling out with Epstein. A wide range of Republicans have said they plan to back the bill to release the files. Quote, if it's on the floor, I'll be voting for it, unquote. Representative Ryan McKenzie, the Republican from Pennsylvania, said in a statement. Quote, the train has already left the station, so we should move on, unquote. Representative Don Bacon said. Johnson has argued that the bill lacks sufficient protections for Epstein victims, although he insists Republicans have supported, quote, maximum transparency from the start. The Senate is facing growing pressure to act as the House is expected to pass the effort Tuesday. So I don't know. In short, just a couple of thoughts here, and then, of course, we'll get yours. They were already going to do this, and then Donald Trump gets on after the fact. It's kind of like what he did with the stimulus checks.
It's like what he did with the everything.
With the everything, yeah, there you go. But something that people can refer to. Like this was already happening, and he wants to appear in command and in control. But yeah, this was kind of moving forward. And the Democrat hoax part, I think that's like King Charles removed the rank from his, like, was it brother or whatever, whoever that other guy is, that was all caught up in this Epstein stuff. And like he took his like rank away. And I don't think he does that for a Democratic hoax. The most notable person in all of the Epstein files is Donald Trump. I think by a long way. Jeffrey Epstein, from what I understand, hung out with a lot of important people. But Donald Trump is the one person that he bragged about having a close friendship with. And I don't imagine that you would brag about being friends with Donald Trump if you're actually friends with a sitting president or a Bill Gates or something like that. You know what I mean? You don't play up a Donald Trump when you have other names to play up. I think that their friendship was genuine. And the fact that they have videos and, you know, tons of pictures and notes back and forth together, I think the fact that he's trying to call this a Democrat hoax doesn't make any sense to me. It's just deflection and more of the same. So that's all I got for this, Q. Any thoughts?
I mean, it should make sense to you, Rams. It always works.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Placating
for his base
always works.
Yeah.
Pretending that you're now for this will work for his base. See, he's got nothing to hide. If he was really in there, why would he be for it? So what we're left to know, we don't have to surmise and we don't have to guess. We know at this point we have enough evidence that if he's all of a sudden for it, one of three things or all three things are true. One, as Ramses noted, this is happening now and there's nothing he can do about it. So he has to appear to be in charge. Two, he is actually in charge of everything and has had access to these files because his personal attorneys run the Justice Department.
Oh yeah.
So whatever version of this information is made available will, even if it implicates him, will be the most sanitized version of this information that exists because it's been in the possession of his personal attorney this entire time.
Yeah.
And he's noticed, hey, my base actually will ride with me through anything. Because as Ramses and I spoke about, Megan Kelly, I think her name is Ramses,
Hmm.
did a whole segment on her show
Yeah.
about how it's not really that big of a deal. These girls were 15. It's not like they were 8. Oh,
Gross.
so now 15-year-old girls is cool. We listened to Dean Withers talk to that TikToker that's a right-wing MAGA guy. And he's asking him stone coldly, what's the big deal? Okay, he did it. Okay. He essayed little girls. So what? What's the problem? Why is that wrong? To the point where Dean, who has made a career of debating right wing MAGA people, was
Ran out of words.
stomped. He couldn't respond.
Yeah.
We've gotten to that point where I have to now. I'm the single person in this discussion who feels like essaying children, R wording children is bad. R wording anybody should be a disqualifier, right?
Absolutely.
Sexually assaulting, forcefully taking the innocence of children is a whole different level of disgusting. But doing that to anyone should be a problem. Like, imagine that's where they are now morally, Ja. Where just what's the big deal in general if he's doing this to people? What's the big deal in general if he's doing it to children? So now he's seen that, oh, my base, I can rebrand these Republicans that turned on me as traitors and threatened to primary them. So I don't care if all the Republicans switch teams on me, then they won't have the support of MAGA. What I'm sure he feels is the most powerful movement on earth. He's justified in feeling that way. He's the president again after all the things he's done, after being convicted, adjudicated with regards to E. Jean Carroll. I think $5 million in damages, and not just civilly liable, but found liable to have sexually assaulted her. He became the president again after that. He became the president initially after grabbing by the P word. He became the president again after January 6th, after trying to have his VP killed, after inciting a riot, an insurrection attempt at the U.S. Capitol. We saw his speech telling people to meet him there, and then people meeting him there or going there to meet him and carrying out his wishes to overturn a free and fair election. We then heard him brag about rigging an election. We've seen him behave like and just be one of the most disgusting people ever. And almost 80 million people turned out to vote for him. Even with the rigging, that's still terrifying. And he now knows there is nothing I can do to make these people turn their backs on me. Their entire identities are tied up in their support of me. They'd rather put up their daughters than turn their backs on me. So yeah, release the files. So what? I always wanted you to. Even though I've spent the last year almost trying to make sure you didn't. I get to rebrand now. I get to pivot. I get to pretend I've been about transparency the whole time. My base will buy it. And that's my new spin. He's Donald Trump and he approves this message.
I think that he's like the living embodiment of that little nugget of wisdom that we share sometimes on this show, that it's easier to fool a man than to convince a man he's been fooled.
MAGA.